Hey Gemini, I hope you guys are doing wonderful. Happy Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for all your support, your patience, your appreciation, all the things you guys have done for the Vibe Tribe family, Cosmic Soul Tribe. And that since we did have a transition, we did evolve. So this is why we call ourselves the Cosmic Soul Tribe now. In that sense, we did kind of come from the Vibe Tribe family for most of us. But that's evolution for you. We do know how to evolve around here. We do change. We do shift. Okay, karma in the reversal. Well, somebody's repenting a bad choice. Somebody's coming clean about something here. Somebody did something wrong. Now, it was probably mental manipulation for a lot of this energy. That's what I'm feeling. The reason why I feel this is King of Swords is in the reverse. And this gives me the sense of like, yeah, somebody knew what they were doing. They were making a bad choice. They took advantage of something here, and now they're repenting and coming clean. Of course, this could be you guys. You know, you're coming clean to something. You made a bad choice, and you know it. Otherwise, it's somebody that you may need to know about within this something that's been affecting you. Maybe an energetic cord or attachment, something like that, right? Now, I want to say that the feeling I got is a very interesting thing. For some of you, the thing that I'm feeling is if you're attached to, say, a house, okay, and you're not living in that house anymore, say the energies that are in that house now are affecting you because you're attached to that house. I don't know why that came through, but that's interesting. Apartment, maybe even just like a place you resided at for a while that maybe you've had attachment to. There's energies around there now, the new ones or the old ones or whatever that have been there. They've been affecting your energy because you have an attachment to that specific location, and whatever attachment you had is no longer needed. Like, you don't need to have this attachment, you need to release it. So it does run a little bit deeper than just the basis of normal things. There's been a lot of things you've been healing, and there's been a lot of release. So the things you've been releasing are really good things, and now you finally got to this basis. This basis is you're repenting and coming clean. Maybe it's the effect that you've been having because whoever lives in this or resides in this energy that you have an attachment to specifically, it could be even a person, they're manipulative mentally, you know, and they could be emotionally abusive as well. And I feel like they're harsh with their words, and they're very critical, and it's going to be something that's rubbing off on you in some weird ways. You've been noticing maybe certain mood swings, certain out of the ordinary triggers and stuff like that has been setting you off, and it's not really been it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel natural, you know. It doesn't feel like you. That's just weird to you, and you know who you are, and especially because you're a Gemini. Geminis know they know what mood swings are. They know what their moods usually are. They go through them quite often throughout the day, and so you're feeling a little off with this. This is not natural for you. There's an attachment somewhere. Could be a place, a person, even an existent, like at one point a past existence that did take place. You could be repeating it over and over, reliving it somewhere in your subconscious. Meaning you could be dreaming about things, and it's a consistent repetitive situation in your dream. You could be seeing one situation, one scenario one night, the next night's a little bit of a different scenario, but there's a lot of the same similar themes there. And then it goes to another energy, another place, different environment, but there's something still lingering in that, you know, and you kind of been having these same. It's like a cycle. It keeps repeating itself. Kind of like if you were to think of a ghost that is in that sense of they're stuck in their little sequence of death, kind of, so they keep repeating whatever cycle. So we got Aquarius and Virgo out here, or Chinese rooster or tiger, coming clean and repenting, taking responsibility with the Emperor. Yeah, see, this is what's happening. You're taking responsibility for your own emotions, and there's something that maybe you know that you did, and you're like, well, this really wasn't like something I would really do. Like, this isn't something that was truly, it's not truly affiliated with me, so why would I have done it, you know? I don't know, yelled at the top of your lungs at somebody. I don't know, whatever it could have been. Don't worry about what it is. Just know that there was something, and it could be this thing or this thing, and it could be anything between, and it doesn't matter. It's just how you this has just made you feel really indifferent. If this doesn't make sense to you, it's probably not for you. You know what I mean? This has just made you feel very unnatural, very unconnected, you know, a disconnect in a sense. Now the Emperor is like taking responsibility. When you do that, when you take accountability, you take your power back. You're taking all the power back. So anything trying to manipulate you that you were energetically attached to, that maybe you didn't even realize it was affecting you like that, it will be released because all the power is being returned back to you. So any of those attachments that you had emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, sexually, financially, they're being cut and released back to you, kind of like if you snap a rubber band and it comes snapping back, Aries energy with the Emperor too, so this is something you will be expecting to see a lot more clear during this Aries season. Could be something around children. You could be going on traveling vacation. Something like that could be happening. You could be seeing your father for some of you too. There could be something about Easter, because I see these flowers. I remember that this is about Easter, springtime, and lots of things growing, lots of things starting to turn, shift, change. Perspectives are going to change. I do feel like you're going to see things in a different way than you have in a long time, or maybe ever, because some of the ways you're starting to see the world have opened your point of view to a more beautiful outlook. In a sense, you look at things like with more grace and more beauty and more care than you did before. And you could have already had that strength with that, but this has just heightened it, is all. You do have numbers 20 and then 7 and 4, so it could be something to do with 7 and 4 life path numbers. It could be something to do with April or June. It could be something about June 20th or April 20th, 420. For some of you, you don't know what that means. It's all about that green, and it is great to know that. Me too. Okay, the High Priest and the Knight of Wands. It's great. It's good. It's beautiful. Everything that you could ever imagine and ask for the next couple months, you're going to be blessed. Very, very blessed. God has given you this divine intervention, so He has intervened into your life, causing a lot of divine blessings and divine abundance to just start flowing into your life. But that's because you picked up your pieces, and you realize what you did, and you see what you did. You even had to go through the little trials of self-hatred because of what you did, and like you battled it out and you worked it out and you found yourself on the other side of it. And God wants to recognize you for that, because that's exactly what you were supposed to do. This is just the way you're supposed to be going about life in general anyway. We're all able to make mistakes. Like, I don't know, God wouldn't have just placed us here with no rules or guidebook, really, if we weren't allowed to make mistakes, And of course, the Bible would be kind of like the guidebook if you were to really look at it, and you would actually get to read a lot of it. It will tell you how He actually, encourages us to make mistakes, because when we do, we turn to Him after we make a mistake, and that connects us closer to Him. That's the whole point of us having a human existence, or just being a being in general, because at one point He craved connection. There was nothing but Him, so therefore He knows what it's really like to not have anything at all. In that sense, He could create anything, so He did. He created something to fulfill Him in needs of connection. And when He did that for us, He wanted to make sure that we were able to connect with Him on our own free will. And so when those bad things happened to us, He wanted to make sure that we understood that those are things that are supposed to happen. This is the reason why. I'll show you. Now that you connected with me and told me about it and gave me your problems and gave me your weakness, I'm going to give you the strength to get through it. You're going to watch me help you overcome these challenges, etc., etc. And then when you get through these challenges, I want you to have the free will to tell me thank you and I appreciate what you did and whatnot, and that'll keep our connection strong. That's how we maintain our relationships. That's how we maintain our self too, within self, like relationship with inner self. So therefore, this is like that feeling of just really being connected and close to God. The High Priest is all about really having that sense of high guidance and tradition, in a way too, the tradition that God had set upon us to do, and be traditionally connected to Him, without question, really, towards what He is going to do for us. Now, we can question the human existence because that's what we were meant to do. We don't have to question Him, though. We get to question the human existence for our own experience, so that we get to learn the things that we don't know. And the only way to really seek all of those things that we don't know is through the act of God. So yeah, there's a lot of great things. Your energy is being recharged. There's a lot of that happening right now. There's a lot of things that we're getting prepared for, is why we're kind of all in a re-energized energy where we're recharging ourselves and getting ready and amped up for something. There's miraculous change coming in the world. I know that a lot of us have already started to feel this shift in this movement, but I know that this is really still just the beginning of what we have been feeling. And like I said, it takes a long time for this is like a beginning to an end, and this is like an actual book. This is like the very first chapter, introduction type feeling, and we're not, this is a book that's probably got maybe up to 120 chapters, until the end of this time, specifically the time frame that we are just beginning. There's a lot to go through when our first chapter begins, and after the introduction. But I feel like most of us are going to start really we're going to start feeling this enlightenment energy where most of our days are peace, joy, and it's like symphony, like a symphony energy, just being able to be in the flow and be in the sequence and be flowing in the harmonic tone, like the tones and vibrations. And that's going to feel really good. For a lot of us, we're just going to start feeling that way. A lot of things we're going to see are in sync with each other, synchronicities. Things are going to be really starting to piece together so peacefully, so smoothly. Others are not going to have that total experience yet. Eventually they will, because that doesn't get to be taken away from everybody. This whole experience we're all going through, we all get to have an experience within it on our own. So of course, over 8 billion experiences get to have that experience, right? So therefore, there's something really, really amazing. Perspective changes. The hangman on the bottom in the reverse. Yeah, exactly. Not in the reverse, but yeah. And this is telling you the sacrifices that have been made. One knows what's worth the sacrifice. In that sense, only because one had trusted in God, and God had allowed one to be reassured by, hey, this is what you were praying to me, and I want you to see that I heard you, and I'm going to answer your prayers in ways of signs, symbols, synchronicities, reassurance, clarity, truth being revealed, through people in a sense of like somebody giving someone guidance, or even a sense of a sentence that they say that adds up and cues into something they were thinking about so heavily that wasn't really brought up, but it was all, very perfect moment. What really needed to be said was said. That kind of thing, picking up on those things is going to be so much more simple. And it's going to make you feel so much more, like I said, peaceful. The harmony of it is just feeling good about it. And like you'll feel the answers come more quick. They're available answers to you like everywhere, and it doesn't make you feel insecure. It doesn't make you feel like you're questioning everything in a sense of negative, like worry, anxiety. You're questioning things in a good and healthy way. And that would be like, you're like, wow, actually I can understand why this could happen, and if that were the case, then I wonder how this could be. And that would be like in the positive atmosphere of what you're pulling in, by like attracts like. Does that make sense? I hope that does. And also Sagittarius is your opposite sign, but I feel like because this is here, there's something to do with significant Scorpio and Sagittarius full moons. Okay, so Aries season, Taurus season, Scorpio full moon, and then Gemini season, your season specifically, full moon and Sagittarius are going to be all very significant time frames for you guys. Working on a craft. You guys could be working on a craft during these times. You could be working on a craft now. If you're working on a craft now, you could have found yourself in a position of stagnation. And when you did, this is where I feel like you were sitting on that. You were wondering about that, started reflecting and reckoning with yourself, had some doubt, but that's where it is. You finally started to repent and come clean and turn over a new leaf. You did when you started to do these things. So good on you for that, Gemini. Seriously. Some hard truths that you've had to come across. Yep, that's exactly what that was. And honestly, I hope this helped in any way it could. There were some energetic attachments that we had to help you realize. It could have been recently moved. We were talking about that house situation. Okay, crazy, but I'm telling you what. I hope you guys have the most beautiful rest of your day. I know I suck at talking. Mercury retrograde. It gets my my voice and my vocal cords in a chokehold every time. So it messes up my words. It is what it is. I get through it. Have a beautiful rest of your day.